Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, Ma'am Diamond, Ma'am Amazing, Your Highness. This is about my report about the coming and the propagation of Islam. So the historical background. The historical background before the Islam came here in the Philippines, especially here in Mindanao. So the indigenous beliefs before Islam and the tribal communities in Mindanao. So before the arrival of Islam in Mindanao, the indigenous peoples of the region practiced animism, ancestor worship, and spirit-based belief systems that were deeply rooted in their daily lives and tribal traditions. So before the Islam came here in the Philippines, especially in Mindanao, so mga pagtaw siya sa Mindanao na ay mga diran gipsing baliran na so mga animals, so mga fire, so mga ator, so langon-langon na barang-barang ap kailay Iran ap simbol Iran na gyuto believe Iran ka, I believe Iran at kung na spirit ro behind on it, on the thing they praise. So they worship in animism. The native people believed that natural elements such trees, rivers, mountains, rocks, and animals had spirits or souls. These spirits were believed to influence people's lives and the environment, so offerings and rituals were performed to appease them. So next is the worship of deities. The worship multiple deities of spirits, including the Magbabaya, which are considered the supreme god or creator by some Lumad groups. These were the people who believe the Magbabay are the Tagbanwa, Diwata, or the Anito. These are the the Magbabaya are ito yung mga spirit called the Tagbanwa, Diwata, or the Anito. These are the lesser spirits of gods that govern nature or specific aspects of life. These deities were believed to live in sacred places like mountains or forests. And the ancestor worship were highly revered and believed to provide guidance or protections. Their offerings and rituals were done to honor the dead, especially those believed to have had special powers or wisdom in life. So this ancestor worship, yun sa mga tao sa mga lagido pamumulong, nagiramya kabulong sa kanya, nagiramya tayo na, for example, na-preserve nila, nagitipod worship nila. Like, for example, ginan sa Egypt, naginan ng mga mami, nagito sa kanya. So, next is the role of the Babayan or Baylan. The Babaylan, also called the Baylan or the Mumbaki on the other areas, were spiritual leaders, healers, and shamans. They acted as intermediaries between the spiritual and human worlds, daily rituals, healing ceremonies, and communal prayers. So mga babaylan, nadi sa mga pamumulong, so mga witches, so di magbarang, naginan siya sa mga babaylan. Ano ko na mga power nila. So believe in good and evil spirits, of course. So like ratani manto, pero tiyatano saan ng mga jin, mga rarata, agwa jin ang mga pipiya. Like mo sa miyuna, sudat mga masuratan, o tanong mo masuislam, na so mga taong mamurok tanong sa miyuna, na pero tiyasiran mo sa mga spirits, good and evil. So, secret rituals and offerings. Indigenous groups had ritual dances, chants, and animal sacrifices and symbolic offerings to spirits. Rituals were performed during planting, harvest seasons, weddings, births, or deaths. Examples, of ethno-linguistic groups with indigenous beliefs. The Lumad groups like the Manobo, Higaonon, Sobanin, and Bagobo practiced these beliefs long before Islam and Christianity arrived. Even today, some of these traditions are preserved among certain non-Islamized and non-Christianized communities in Mindanao. So, kapag ritualiran offerings to their gods, magsubali siya sa manok, sa kambing, nagipsuniran, giram po ng mga wedding, or at nabsuniran, kalimulimot, nagitopsubali siya sa mga animals. Ago, tama naman to na di-practice that rituals. So, for example, mga Higaonon, in Bukidnon, at sa gani sa Luzon, din na mga igurot, nagsubali siya sa mga manok. So next is the tribal communities in Mindanao. So before the arrival of Islam in the 14th century, Mindanao was already home to diverse set of indigenous tribal communities with their own unique cultures, languages, and belief systems. These groups are originally referred to as Alumad, or as a term meaning native. Yes. Ito. So, mga native na gitun sa lumad pala. Although not all indigenous tribes identify with this term. So, these are the major tribal communities in Mindanao before Islam came. For example, the Manobo, which live in the southwest highlands of Mindanao, the Bagobo, residing in the mountainous ridges between the upper Polang and Davao rivers, the Bulaan, found in central Mindanao, the Tiruray, living in the upper portion of the river drain area in the northwestern part of South Cotabato, the Mandaya, an animist ethnic group living along the Mayo River known as their traditional practice and cultural beliefs, the Tibuli, residing in the southern part of the Cotabato, the Higaonon, living in the highlands of the north central Mindanao. Higaonon na gina sa North Mindanao na North Central na gina part na Ranao, Lanao, Iligan, Cagayan, gina ni Central Mindanao. Sakta no mga Higaonon tanong. Nagibinda miya bagi-bagi. Yuto miya rule and divide tanong, nagyuto miya adin Sumranao. So Maguindanao, the Mamanwa, found in various parts of Mindanao, the Mansaka living in eastern areas of Cotabato. And the other indigenous group, the Bukidnon living in the highlands of north central Mindanao, the Tagakaulo found various parts of Mindanao. So these indigenous tribal communities had a rich cultural heritage and played an important role shaping in the history of identity of Mindanao and in Mindanao, yes. So, the 14th century, so the arrival of Islam. In the 14th century, Islam arrived in Mindanao 200 years before the colonial Spanish Catholics. A number of sultanates were able to resist external attempts to establish dominance until the United States took over as the colonial power in 1898. So, katong-tanong sa history, before may makuha sa mga colonized countries like the Spanish, which introduced the Philippines, the Christianity, the Americans, the Japans, colonize siran ang Philippines pero ay budaran makolonize na yung Mindanao sa tanong mga Muslim. Actually, before sila miyakuman na adna Islam sa Philippines, sa Luzon, which led by Raha Sulaiman, Visayas, Lapu-Lapu, and Mindanao is Sultan Kudarat. So, gibuan Luzon, Abugya, Visayas, ayaw niya conquer Spain, nagyaya sa tanong sa Mindanao, alhamdulillah, adat ano rin ma-conquer. So, the historical background, Islam arrived in the Philippines not by force, okay, but through peaceful trade and missionary. The spread of Islam in Southeast Asia, including the Philippines, was part of a larger Islamic movement across the Malay archipelago. It came through Arab Persian, Indian, and Malay Muslim traders and missionaries long before the Spanish colonization. So Islam, kaya biyan raktano, unlike sa Christianity, Christianity na may puriseran dia Luzon, Abu Visayas, some other parts in Mindanao na through force. Na unlike sa Islam, naknaba by force ka by trade, by missionaries, niya nabigsiran saya, and so mga miyamakamasya mga Muslim na yang arumasiran siya sa mga native, yuto. And next is the arrival of Sheikh Karim al-Maktoum. The Sheikh Karim al-Maktoum is the first documented Muslim missionary to arrive in Mindanao. He is an Arab and Indian Muslim scholar. He arrived in 1380 at Simonon Island in Tawi-Tawi, in the southern part of Mindanao. He built the first mosque in the Philippines, the Sheikh Karim al-Maktoum Mosque, which still stands today. So until now, so masjid piyambaliahin niya Sheikh Karim al-Maktoum na dudurupan sa kanyan sa Tawi-Tawi. Actually, nas kanyang dito'y pagapaga na the first mosque in the Philippines. Na tama iman to, nadudun iman to. Sheikh Karim al-Maktoum taught Islam to the local population and laid the foundation for future conversions after. So, yun to. Ay isa kyakunan sa Islam, sa Mindanao, siya ay kumikod sa masjid, agupyan niya preachings kanya siya regarding about Islam. So, next is the Muslim traders and missionaries. So, isa pa nakipag-spread ang mga Islam sa Mindanao na sukabas ako. So, Islam nakispread yan na not by force, by trading and by missionary. By trade, Muslim traders introduce Islam beliefs and practices to local population through trade networks, missionary work. Muslim missionaries such as Sharif Kabunsuan and Karim al-Maktoum preach Islam and establish mosques. Intermarriage, Muslim traders and missionaries intermarried with local population, blending cultures and promoting Islam. So, yung mga traders, yung sumisaya na ito, yung rumasiran sa mga native sa Rakano sa Mindanao. Isa mo ito pag-spread ng mga Islam. So, the Muslim traders, many indigenous leaders converted and embraced Islam as unifying political and spiritual system. So, next is the key figures in Islamization. The Maktoum in Tawi-Tawi 1380 is the one of the key figure is him. Maktoum Karim, an Arab missionary who arrived in Tawi-Tawi around 1380. He established the first mosque in the Philippines, and which stands today. The Sharif Kabunsuan in Mindanao, another important figure in Sharif Kabunsuan, a noble from Johor in modern Malaysia who arrived in Mindanao around 1475. He married into local royalty and spread Islam through political alliances and peaceful propagation. He is the founder of the Sultanate of Maguindanao. Siya kina Sharif Kabunsuan. Yung kinuyad na ingadwa Sharif Kabunsuan ka. Siya kiniya kuan. Siya kiniya Sharif Kabunsuan. So, after that is the Muslim Sultanates. The establishment of the Sultanates in Mindanao dates back to the 15th century when Islam was introduced to the region by Muslim missionaries and traders from the Middle East, India and Malaysia. There are two prominent sultanates for established Mindanao, the Sultanate of Maguindanao and the Sultanate of Lanao. So, the Sultanate of Maguindanao, which was founded by Sharif Kabunsuan in 1515, who claimed to be a direct descendant of the Prophet Muhammad. The Sultan reached its peak during the reign of the Sultan Kudarat in the 17th century, who expanded its military power, economy, and territory through strategic alliances and trade. In the Sultanate of Lanao, established in the 16th century, when the influence of Sharif Kabunsuan, the Sultanate system in Lanao was uniquely decentralized, divided into 4 sovereign states: the Unayan, the Masio, the Bayabao, and Baloy. Each state has its own royal houses with 17 ruling royal sultanates in total. So tama naman to, naging Sultanate of Lanao, naging Graran, Yuto, isaw na Subabakan, naging Sulutan sa Buti, na isa na to kung mga sapol bagupita panuganan sa Saranaw. So next is, so how Islam spread in the Philippines, especially in Mindanao. Islam in the Philippines is the second largest religion in the country, and the faith was the first recorded monotheistic religion in the Philippines. Historically, Islam reached the Philippines archipelago in the 14th century through contact with Muslim, Malay, and Arab merchants along the Southeast Asia trade networks, in addition to Yemeni missionaries from the tribe of Alawi of Yemen from the Persian Gulf, southern India, and their followers from several sultanates in the wider Malay archipelago. The first missionaries then followed in the late 14th and the early 15th centuries. They facilitated the formation of sultanates and conquest the mainland Mindanao and Sulu. Those who converted to Islam came to be known as the Moros, with the Muslim conquest reaching as far as Tondo, that was later supplanted by the Bruneian Empire, vassal state of Manila. So, how Islam spread in Mindanao? A historical process that began in the 14th century and continues to shape the culture and the identity of many communities in the southern Philippines. So, yes, kanya Islam entered through trade before 14th century. Even before Islam officially arrived, Muslim traders from Arabia, Persia, India, and Malay religion were already visiting the coastal Ismin and Sulu. They traded pearls, spices, gold, and cloth with local communities. Through these interactions, they also shared their religion and way of life. So the locals were impressed by traders' honesty, discipline, and peaceful nature, leading to early conversion. So by trading, isabot na ini experience na pagani na siyang rin na trade by business. So umyuna na da perak, na gira na pumasan ka na yuto. Trading. Trading na while on trading na same time na gina-share nila yung religion nila, yung Islam, through the local communities in the Mindanao. So, paano mo siya sa Mindanao na may impress siya na ito, may convert siya sa Islam. So, next is the Sheikh Karimul Makdum. So, Sheikh ini, sa kanyang pagapaganay, miyambal sa masjid sa Philippines. Yuto. His mission was peaceful. He used teaching, dialogue, and good example to convert people to Islam. So, isang Sheikh niya, pamana, kaya nabligan niya siran, tumikod sa masjid. So, next is the Islam through intermarriage. So mga missionaries, aso yung saya, so mga traders, na yuto, may mga rumasiran sa mga local native people sa Mindanao. Isang pa na to. The establishments of sultanates. So, establishment of sultanates, the Sultanate of Sulu, founded by Sayyid Abu Bakar, a Muslim scholar from Arabia. He married the local princess and became Sultan Sharif of Al Hasim. He implemented Islamic laws, education, and governance. So, Sheikh niya Sayyid Abu Bakar, sa kanya ni pagpaganay, founder siya sa Sultanate of Sulu. So, ini-implement yan sa Sharia. Why? So, Islamic laws. And in-spread yan po sa Islamic education and governance. So, the Sultanate of Mindanao, founded by Sharif Kabungsuan. So, ito si Sharif Kabungsuan, a Muslim missionary and a prince of Johor in Malaysia. Taga-Malaysia siya kaya, Sharif Kabungsuan. He arrived in Cotabato, married into a local royal family, and converted many tribes. So, Islam spread to Maguindanao, Lanao parts of Bukidnon. Isa pa na yung sultanates, siya kaya Abu Bakar from Sulu, taga-Arabs kanya actually, Abu siya kanya Kabungsuan sa Maguindanao. May mga Roma siya. Abu ini-spread din sa Islam through teaching, ito. Sa use of Islamic education and madrasa, ito isa pa na yan. Pimakaklas sa mga local communities, spreadiran so awareness. So Islam, so Muslim scholars established madrasa, the Islamic schools. People were taught to read and write in Arabic and learn about the Quran, Hadith, and Islamic values. This education helped unify the people under Islamic teachings and strengthen their faith. See? So, tama naman ito na mga hafiz dito. Cultural and political influence. So, Islam shaped local law, Sharia, dress codes, and social behavior and leadership systems. Local leaders become datus or sultans ruling with Islamic principles. Islamic festivals, prayers, and architecture become part of daily life. So, next is the Islam as a defense against colonization. When the Spanish colonizers arrived, the Islamist communities in Mindanao and Sulu resisted conversion and colonization. They become known as Moro, a term used by the Spanish of Muslims. So, Islam became a symbol of unity and resistance against the foreign rule. So, yun to, so din tanong magba mga foreign o pa maipag-insist Iran. So Christianity na datanoron ni kiswaswa ka upama na dinipinsa tano so faith tano, so culture tano, ago so system tano upama na datano Iran mako. Kagi adna so kaya pa ako masyumang Espanyol, nami ako masirad na adna gobyerno tano, adna suwatano, ago adna religion tano. Dito diran makuan. So in summary, Islam spread in Mindanao through peaceful trade, missionary work, strategic marriages, and royal alliances. The rise of Islamic sultanates, the education through madrasa, and the resistance against colonization. Islam came not by war, but by wisdom, patience, and respect for culture, and it remains a vital part of the identity of many people in Mindanao today. So, the Islam as a defense against the colonization. The arrival of Islam transformed Mindanao in several ways. It united various tribes under a shared of belief system. Niya united sa mga tribu tanong so kaya pa sa mga Espanyol. So Maranao, Maguindanao, so Tausug, dito three major Muslim tribes na niya united sila na ba ang Guit Imanto, Mimbola tribalism, kasabot ko kada to. They introduced literacy through Arabic script. They encouraged education and spiritual discipline. Established long-lasting governance system based on Islamic law. So, yun to. So, what are the impact of Islam in Mindanao? So, these are the impacts of the Islam in Mindanao. So, first is the religious identity and practices. Islam introduced monotheism and the belief in Allah as one of two gods. So, isa-isa mo sutuan tanong. Dito i-introduce Iran. So, shahada. So, la ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah. So, daily prayers, salat. So, 5 wakto. So, fasting during Ramadan. So, kabugay sa zakat. And, so kapag Hajj, pilgrimage to Mecca, become the spiritual obligation for many. The Sharia, Islamic law, continues to guide the personal and the family lives of Muslims, especially in the Bangsar Autonomous Region of Muslim Mindanao. So Sharia raktan sa Philippines, with respect to the civil law, to the regular law in the Philippines, na to Sharia, na ay buo pa ini kuan yan raktan so in the PD 1083 na dito so kapapangaroma, so marriage, divorce, so kang bagi-bagi sa tamok, so custody. Okay. So custody. dito yung applicable sa Sharia sa Philippines. So number 2, the political system and the governance. The Sultanate systems, for example, the Sultanate of Sulu, Maguindanao was introduced, blending Islamic and traditional authority. Islamic governance emphasized justice, the adult consultation, the shura, and the accountability principles that continue to influence the leadership and structures in some communities. Number 3 is the legal and social traditions. Islamic legal traditions were integrated into customary laws, the adat of the indigenous peoples. Even today, the Sharia courts operate in the barn, addressing personal and family issues like marriage, divorce, and inheritance. Sharia, years of PD 1083. The persons, the Muslim personal law of in the Philippines, PD 1083. The cultural heritage. Next is the cultural heritage, the architecture. The mosque became the centers of worship and community life. Traditional mosques like the Tulay Central Mosque in the Sulu reflect unique Islamic designs. The language, Arabic scripts called Jawi, was historically used in writing local languages like Tausug and the Maguindanao. Literature, Islamic epics, poetry, and religious texts spread Islamic teachings and values. Dress and customs, modest clothing like the hijab and the mano, and the gender norms were influenced by Islamic teachings. Of course, the education, the madrasa system, Islamic schools taught Quranic knowledge, Arabic and Islamic law. Many families still send children to both madrasa and religious schools. Scholars known as ulama and mufti help preserve Islamic teachings and guidance through generations. So isa pa na niya tabang raktano pa man na preserve Islam, sabab sa education, kagyo pa man na mga pistano, so mga ulama tanong na siyempre, sira man ko i-direct tanong rin, mamang daw, wag umiyak ka-preserve sira ko Islamic teachings and guidance o mga next generation. The peace advocacy and resistance. Islam fostered unity and resistance during colonization by Spain and later the Americans. Muslim leaders resisted foreign domination in defense of the religion and sovereignty. Today, Islam remains a foundation for peace building and justice in Mindanao. Through dialogues and the work of organizations like the More Islamic Liberation Front, transitioning into civil governance. So, we have Bardumanto, Yuto, the Bangsamoro identity. Here, Islam is a core element of Bangsamoro identity. The creation of BARN in 2019 is a modern political legacy rooted in Islamic self-determination and struggle for autonomy. The Islamic principles influence laws, culture, and governance in the region. So in conclusion, the legacy of Islam in Mindanao is not only about religions. It's about a way of life that has shaped the people's beliefs, governance, resistance, and identity. Islam continues to be the source of the strength, unity, and peace among the diverse communities in Mindanao. So, that's all po, ma'am. Yun lang po. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.